Hello everyone, Robert Rambles here, and welcome back to World of Warcraft Vanilla Classic, the Bloodsail Buccaneers server, and our Hardcore Druid run. Thank you guys very much for clicking on the video, and I hope you're doing well, whether it is morning, afternoon, evening, or night for you where you're at. Thanks for being here. It is morning for me. It's actually Friday. It's actually a Good Friday, and it's actually Good Friday, which is a religious holiday. Slash a reason for places to not have school and work. Some places, not all places, even here in the States. Most places are, most places are open on Good Friday. Which, if you're like a retail worker or something, doesn't make for a very Good Friday for you now, does it? I did take the skinning quest. I also trained our level 8 spells, and right now I'm trying to find a forge to bust our weapons at. Thinking maybe we just want to find the blacksmithing trainer. And we have to assume that there would be a forge somewhere near there. I bet it's going to be as far from us as it could possibly be.
Hail.
It's actually really close. Good. It's perfect. Is it down this way? Looks like it. Yeah, this should let us do what we need. One of these two things should let us break the weapons. There we go. Okay. Robert forgets where the lift is. Part 1. Where is the lift? We're not even facing the right direction for the lift. I'm not a big fan of Thunder Bluff. I obviously don't know my way around very well. So this way. And I'm already easily lost, so. A place like Thunder Bluff makes it a lot easier to get lost. Let's see which one's going to come up first. I'm going to trust that this guy did his planning and that this is going to be the one that comes up. There we go. Do we want to head over to the west, or the east rather, to work on the Rite of Wisdom? The water well that we need is the one that's southeast of Bloodhoof Village. So either way, we're going to have to circle back for that. I'm really hesitant to do much of anything else here without having bear form, but unfortunately we have an entire 2 levels to go before that happens. We could look for our last swoop for Mazranash. I guess you could say it anyway. I always add like 7 syllables to the word that don't belong there, and I call it Mazranche. What my brain does is when it sees a word that is going to be impossible, it just like kind of glances at the letters, puts them in a blender, spins them around, and then tells my brain to form random syllables. It's usually what happens when I look at a word that my brain cannot process. I could overcome that with like training and willpower, but it's more fun just to say Mazranache and just wait for the comments to come in. Speaking of him, here he is. We're gonna have to fight him eventually, don't we? He's not an elite. We'll let that ticket's damage down for a bit. Can we keep doing that? Or will he become immune eventually? Let's say I'm just like a really patient person. And like... Wow. Is this a real thing we can do? This would not work against an elite, I don't think. I think an elite would have too much health for this to be effective, but... It's working against this guy. And it's definitely something to keep in mind. It's slow. Obviously. Just get the one wrath in. There doesn't seem to be any limit to how many times we can snare him. I thought he would grow resistance eventually. Well, he did drop a cloak with 8 armor. I would say worth it. We can also remember that we're a skinner on this character. And that we need to be skinning things. We do have a quest for light leather. We have a couple of quests for light leather. Gathering light leather, and then we have a quest to get a bag. Oh, oh, coarse thread and 2 light leather. That'll get us a bag. Oh, a pattern for a bag. That's even better than a bag. 6 slots. Kodo hide bag. That would be nice if we could do that soon. Maybe I only have to buy 1 more bag. Maybe we can hold off and not buy any more bags. Maybe we just wait till we can make them. That would be nice. I guess like the only way that really happens though is if I'm fighting some stuff that I can actually skin. It's really the only way that's going to happen quickly. He resisted. What a jerk. I could have thorns up, that'd be useful. I could have markup. I could have, oh, I have markup. Randomly. Not by design, I promise you that. Okay. Now we're better. Now we're better. A lot of you guys really seem to like the voiceover add-on, so I apologize if you were getting attached to it. We didn't have it for a long time, so I feel like it's probably a really good add-on that if you're playing World of Warcraft on your own, just to turn it on and you get to listen to all the quests play while you go about your business. That's what I would have done. If that had been a thing back when I was playing the game, I definitely would have used it and would have loved to be able to hear all the quests read out to me like that. And I wouldn't have minded the AI voice or how sometimes it's a little stilted sometimes. A lot of times the cadence is off or the inflection on the words obviously aren't there. What they did do a good job of somehow is most of the pronunciations, like the proper nouns of the World of Warcraft universe. Like, yeah, they got a lot of those really well, so that was nice. But yeah, ultimately I do feel like Blizzard will probably crack down on it. And it got distracting for me as a person who considers himself like a novice linguist in my own language. Which means that I like words and how they can be used. And as an art form even for expressing things. So when I come across something like an AI voice add-on, my brain is like, oh, wrong inflection, oh, wrong spacing, oh, didn't pause long enough. You know what I mean? I think of all these ways it could be orated better. Like, as a facilitator and a teacher, like, someone who's talked in front of people a lot. Yeah, I can't stop my brain from, like, so it's probably not a distraction to you guys. You guys were probably really into it. What it ended up being is it started to become a distraction to me. Oh. And eventually that distraction to me was going to bleed through. Hello, Rambles. Do you have the broken tools? The dwarves digging will enrage the Kodos of why would it enrage the Kodos? Why would it enrage the Kodos if they're digging in the ground? This will calm the beast of Mulgore and spirits willing. It will teach the dwarves that hollowing the land is not the path to knowledge. I hate to break it to you, but there are more dwarves digging elsewhere. We're definitely taking the rough-hewn Kodo leggings.
Be careful.
They are shorts, not leggings at all. We were missold. We need to vendor all of our stuff and catch a little repair. We can drag this off of our bar. We're saving our light leather. We're not going to do any crafting until we turn those 2 leatherworking quests in.
Greetings. in peace.
Yep, we are going to want to be able to make those bags as soon as possible. Let's head down to the Winterhoof water well to cleanse that, because there's going to be a follow-up that's probably going to take us in a different direction. The Wind Furies, I'm not sure. Maybe they're up this way? And we still need our Swoop Gizzard, which would be nice to get pretty soon here. And there's also a quest on the road that we should pick up that, even though I've asked Questy to turn on, like, you know, quest objectives, it didn't turn them all on. I don't know why. I don't know why some of them appeared and others didn't. The unreliability of Questy and the unpredictability of it is one of the reasons why I stopped using it. Why often I grow frustrated with it and I turn it off. Similar to all add-ons, even the voice add-on, I had the same issues with the settings of it. It seems like a lot of times what happens are, like, the settings reset when you log in. So you would tell it to be assigned to the master volume channel, you would tell it to mute the NPC dialogue while using voiceover, and it would do that for that session, but then it seems the next time you log in, you'd be back to the base settings. And it becomes a distraction. I've already gotten 2 hardcore characters killed because of being distracted with add-ons. How are we cleansing this? That would be a good question to ask. Here we go.
Peace, friend.
News of your deed reached me moments ago. Already the beast near the well. Drink from it eagerly. How? How are they drinking from it eagerly when it's surrounded by aggressive venture company goblins? You have done a great thing for the land, Rambles, and you have done a great thing for the Tauren people. To create the Thunderhorn cleansing totem, you must gather the claws of the predators of Mulgar Plains. Hunt prairie stalkers for their claws and flatland cougars for their cougar claws, and then return to me. Oh, for their stalker claws and cougar claws, we have to... It's just not hunt them for their claws. Okay, we can shorten these 2 sentences into one amazing sentence. You will find the prairie stalkers and flatland cougars to the east and west. So I'll find them all around. Thanks, buddy. That was really helpful. I'll find them to the east and west. Imagine that, the 2 directions I could veer, I'll find them. Okay, so what do we want to do? We have the quest to go over to the cemetery area to do the Rites of Vision. I would really just like to find a Swoop Gizzard. That'd be great. We can get that one done. Let's head out this way, and then we'll veer north eventually. I want to check on the road for the quest giver that is... Oh, look, there he is. And look, nothing is being tracked here. And nothing is being tracked here. The Ravaged Caravan, that's what it is.
Greetings.
A few days ago, we found a venture company caravan traveling under guard on the northern shore of Stonebowl Lake. We lost 2 of our number in an earlier battle, so we were quick to attack and lay waste to the caravan. We left their supply crates, thinking that our torches would destroy anything of value. But given that venture company salvagers have been spotted near the burned wagons, maybe we were wrong. Perhaps you could go to the caravan and examine the contents of the crates.
Be careful.
I think it's just right up here. Okay. Creeping, aggressive prairie wolf. I remember what you were like. Let's go ahead and tangling root you here. Yeah, I don't mind that trick. I can be patient if it means not getting my face beaten. Yeah, I mean, it's not glorious, right? It's not sexy. But it's getting the job done. Now, I can't hit him because any damage is going to possibly break the root, which is not the point of it. And slap. Yeah, that's good. I can do that. Here we go. An opportunity. And then we can let our regen kick in, I guess. Takes 5 seconds before that kicks in, I believe. If we get a little bit further away, we can do a wrath. I mean, it's super mana efficient because by the time you're gaining mana each time. So if you're just really low on mana, but you want to finish the fight and not run away, you can get a Entangling Roots off. That's your best bet. Resist. Okay, so he did get a resist, but it seemed random. It seemed like a random resist. That being said, he did manage to hit us a little bit. We had to cast twice. Ah, the things you do on a druid before you have bear form. I mean, I don't have to do this. I could DPS them down the old-fashioned way, right? I feel like doing it once is useful just for how much mana you can get back. Totally worth it. Still no swoop gizzard. It's getting desperate. Usually it's the flatland cougar femur that gives me a hard time. Alright, this guy's level 7. Oh, that was a crummy resist. He runs! Perfect. Good thing he ran this way. It looks like we're going to be working, drinking back into our daily, our pull-by-pull rotation here because we are just going out of our mana every single pull. It's not like, here's the thing. Oh man, I feel bad for people who like really want to do Moonkin. Is Moonkin any good? You can't level as Moonkin. I mean, you could. You could level as anything. You could level by casting Entangling Roots and only Entangling Roots. But why would you? What's the draw of leveling as Moonkin? Why would I want to keep casting Wrath until I run out of mana halfway through the fight to hit them with my stick? I'm sure it changes a little bit. I mean, it must, right? Maybe this is what mages are like in vanilla as well. Maybe you just go you're not done with the fight quite yet, and then you drink and go again. Can't really see in here past a lot of the caravans, so I don't know how many guys there might be on this side. So I'm kind of fishing for a better vantage point, or just trying to clear the perimeter so that if we have to run in any direction, we're not running through enemies. This feels bad, but I'll take it. All sides of the crate are stamped with the sign of the Venture Company, Mining Division. Okay. And then? Okay. We are gonna get out of here. Are you not skinning these, my friend? We got lots of action. Let's come down here. We do need to try to get this gizzard. We have to take care of this wolf, though, because of how far they patrol around. And I think for me the problem with the Druid here at low levels is not that it's boring, okay? We played a mage until like level 25. I was completely happy on that mage. Priest. I was completely happy on the priest, as boring as the rotation was, because a boring rotation doesn't really bother me that much. What bothers me here is the feeling that this is just not a really intended gameplay. It's like placeholder gameplay until you get to level 10. That's really what it feels like. Especially if you're planning to go feral, it's placeholder gameplay because you're never going to play like this again. It's always been the really weird thing to me about the Druid. I want to say it's the only class like that that changes or can change so drastically at level 10. You go from being a caster with heals to then you can just be a bear all the time. I mean, you're still a caster with heals, but you're not going to use that part of your character as often. I don't think there are really any other classes that hit level 10 and do that change, do they? I guess the closest could be like Shaman. Whether you decide to go Enhancement or Elemental, you're going to be either up close or at range. But even when you're Elemental, you start at range, but you end up in melee, and kind of the same thing on Enhancement at the early levels. So you still throw a couple lightning bolts from range, and then you finish up in melee. You are going to get locked there just because I need a better start than that. I was thinking about coming over here and trying to continue with the Rites of Vision quest. That being said, it's Cougar territory over here, so we're up to our neck in it. Which is fine, we do need the light leather. We have, is that 5 out of 12? Yeah, looks like it. How many wolves are we going to run into, do we think? No big surprise we have to deal with the wolf here. I'm really trying to hold out for when I will like this class. Oh, we need Stalker Claws? For what? Oh, for the other totem. Okay, I kind of wish I'd have known that. We have had a lot of opportunity to fight a lot of Cougars. We did fight some Cougars, we just haven't gotten any item drops. I'm holding out hope that I will end up liking something about the class once we get it into beast mode. Because right now, if I'm being completely frank, it's the most boring thing I've ever played in Classic. Not boring. See, again, boring is not the right word. It feels wrong. It's the only way I could put it, guys. I'm sorry, I can't be more specific. It doesn't feel good. That's all. There's not a thing about it that feels good. I don't think there's any ability synergy. I don't think I would have a lot of power at range or at melee or at mid. Like, I don't feel like I'm that sustainable even with heals. It's like, okay, I can heal, but I'm going to be out of mana by the time I have to do that. So it's going to be a close one. Resist, yeah, see, resist, and now we're out of mana. So yeah, it's interesting. This is the first time I have felt this way about a class in World of Warcraft. And I kind of knew that, like, Druid was questionable for me because we've never gotten too much into a Druid, but we did recently get a Tauren Druid to level 30, and I was having a great time on that character. So I thought, you know, maybe You know, I thought there's a chance, right? The terrifying thought for me is like, what if this is the character that makes it? It's kind of a terrifying thought. I guess that the silver lining is this, and I'm gonna keep telling myself this as we go here. It can only get better for me. The way I feel about this current gameplay, it can only get better, even if that means that I'm a bear and I'm just hitting maul. As long as something about me feels tough and strong, like if I feel like I have lots of health or I have lots of armor, then it can be tedious. Here it feels like we are weak and we're doing no damage. And we're going out of mana. It's like the trifecta. You can't take damage, you can't deal damage, and you're all the time. I'll say, even the hunter did not feel this incomplete without the pet. The closest example was maybe the rogue before you can dual wield. It starts to feel a little bit weak. It doesn't initially feel weak, but by the time you're fighting level 9 guys and you have one weapon, you do start to feel a little weak on the rogue. It just takes a while to get there. With the druid, you start there and it never goes away until level 10, maybe. But for us, the worry is like it's probably not going to be level 10. It's probably not going to be level 10. We're probably not going to be able to do the quest until we're like a level 12 or 13 if we don't want to die. Especially if it's like the Night Elf one. They sent us in to fight against level 13 Owlkin. Where's the Tauren one going to send us? You have to assume it's going to be an equivalent type of challenge. I think that's the first enemy that we've blown up and killed before it got to us that didn't leave us out of mana. I'd like to see a druid start with the mace, two-handed mace, and I would like to see them physically hit a lot harder, and I'd like to see them start with one melee ability, like some kind of heroic strike-esque, hammer pound-esque ability. That would be cool. It would cut back on the TDM would be gone. When they got into melee, I would feel like it was part of the design. When they got into melee out of necessity of me running out of mana, or not having a 40-yard range, then they'd come in, I'd have an ability to hit, kind of like the hunter has Raptor Strike, and I'd feel like, oh, this is okay. This is part of what we do. When we don't have a melee ability like that, you feel like, oh, I'm getting hit, I have effed up. I am not doing the right thing. Which we might not be. Now that we have Entangling Roots, it probably wants us to do something different. Like, how much does that cost? 50. We have 35 on Wrath. So yeah, we could do differently, you know. We could not get hit. We were kind of experimenting with that, but it involves waiting, in a way, at least until we run away. Right, we get to our max range again, Then we go. Okay, and then it's still gonna get to us, okay? We didn't save a ton of mana by doing it that way. And our regen didn't have a lot of time to be active. So, I don't know. Ultimately, you know, someone's gonna say there's nothing to solve for. Eventually at level 10, everything changes. Yeah, but it's a lot of friction to get through. It's a lot of friction to get through to get to level 10, it seems. Now, if we could hit them with something without, like if I can even put like a Moonfire up and like if they stay in there, that's much better. Because then you have 2 dots ticking. But I think Moonfire does have a chance to break Entangling Roots. I think any damage has a chance to break it. Doesn't mean that it will break it, but it does have a chance. Which means it's probably like a 70-30 chance to break. Oh, we missed that one. Alright, we have all of the Cougar claws we need. Surprisingly, now we just need to fight wolves. I know, we never thought we'd say that. With that in mind, let's try to head back to the south here. I feel like we are in Cougar country, and if we want to get back into the wolf area, we need to head this way. We're also going to be heading back in the direction of town as well. Yeah, see, it broke it. Alright, 2 more claws to go. Yeah, the inventory being full issue is not really working for me. Since we do need to be able to skin, eventually we're going to complete our skinning stack. That's not going to be good either. However, I'm not going to go back to town until we find our last couple of items. I guess this guy's not a skinner. If he was a skinner, there's two things that you can do as a skinner to make sure your skins do not get stolen. One of them is to leave loot on the bodies. Don't loot them. If you don't loot them, I can't skin them. The other thing you can do is just skin them as you go, because that's what I do. You don't save any time by killing stuff and then circling back to loot and skin. It doesn't save you any time. That is not how time works. Changing the order in which you have to do things does not get you more time in that scenario. It might change your perception of how time passes, but that's a you thing. Should just skin them as you go. I'm definitely fine taking these skins, you know, especially on hardcore when we need all the resources that we can get. Our inventory is full. Oh no. Oh no, it's not. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? It's one of the most beautiful things I've seen in this playthrough. A small blue pouch. There we go, guys. It's happening. Now we're good. Now we're not going to have to buy any 6-slot bags, because by the time we need another one, we're going to be making bags. We also... Well, we didn't get the last Stalker Claw we needed, so we do still need one more. Not sure if we're going to keep finding them to the south of here. Let's see. Yes. Okay. No one looted you. That's sad. Definitely did not want to pull that swoop as well. And there we go. That's the last item we need. Let's take these quests back to town. Lots of people playing in Mulgore here on a Friday morning. Like I said, it's kind of a holiday here in the States. Kind of a not holiday, but kind of a holiday. So yeah, lots of people. Really good to see.
What brings you here?
It does indeed appear that the venture company is attempting to rob us of our natural resources. It is good to know this for true, and now it seems we must do something about it. This explains the buildup of venture company employees and equipment I've seen in Mulgore. Those goblins, their company is expanding too quickly for their own good. It's how they say, show a goblin something and you can hear the scales in the background. Greedy little things they are. This guy's a little bit racist. He's like encompassing an entire group of people with broad statements about them that may or may not be accurate. Kill 14 venture company workers, 6 venture company supervisors, and then because of his racism, he wants us to go kill them.
Goodbye.
I will point out that among the venture company are many people of non-goblin heritage. In fact, the venture company is one of the only employers of a variety of people in their workforce. You'll notice that all of the so-called bad organizations in WoW, like the Twilight Cult and stuff like that, they all are very open to accepting all races and types of people. It's only our factions that exclude other races and other factions of people. So there's that. Something to think about. Are we the bad guys? Probably.
Greetings, traveler.
Thank you, Rambles. The purity with which these beasts hunt is vital in the creation of the next cleansing totem. The goblins will never learn the difference between contending with the land and living in harmony with it. The totem is now ready, and again, it is your task to perform the ritual of cleansing. Go to the Thunderhorn water well north of the village and use the totem in your ritual. After you do this, return to me.
Go in peace.
I think one more point in skinning and we'll be ready to train the next rank. Pretty sure it opens up at 50.
The winds guide you.
My fever grows worse and my mind is drifting into delirious nightmares. I should have known that I wouldn't be able to handle the beast my grandfather was unable to defeat. Do you have the ingredients for the remedy? I do. Thank you, Rambles. Using the items you brought me, I will be able to create the remedy I need to stop the spread of the infection and eventually cure it completely. I owe you my life and thanks, but here are some shitty bracers. Oh, thank you.
Ancestors.
I would have taken a favor to be called in at a later time than a pair of bracers that I don't need. Let's go to the north and let's cleanse the Thunderhorn water well. We should have brought some more water with us. That's okay. We're going to do this one, and then we're actually going to head on up to Thunder Bluff because I want to turn in the stuff up there so we can start making bags. That is what I want to do. We need to fill out these last 2 bag slots in a hurry. Nope, we are definitely not pulling that with that amount of mana. That isn't going to happen. If it does, it would not be good for us. Could probably make some bandages while we're waiting for our mana regen sometimes, if we're trying to conserve some water here. Wouldn't be a bad thing to do with our time. We can get this out to our bar somewhere so we can use it if we want. Or we could sell it if we don't want. Level question mark, man. So is it strange that recently I started to really regret the death of our priest, whereas like at the time, for like the longest time, it didn't faze me too much except for the moment that it happened? Is that like shock, like a delayed grief, postponed grief? For like the past 2 days, I just been just not like grief, but I've been thinking about the priest. Just thinking about the priest, you know, how far we progressed, how many zones we got to see, all the content we got to do on it, how just impervious it felt to be on the priest. Oh, I think the priest, it has to go on the list of things we try again someday. The priest will be the night elf character that I do the swim. I'll do the swim. I'll get like a level 1 night elf priest. I'll probably just keep trying to do the wetlands run until it works out and then start the series. Start the series and when I get to Elwyn. That'd be an okay way to do a priest again if we did it on a night elf. But obviously if we got that night elf to the Eastern Kingdoms, because I am not going to attempt another Teldrassil run in hardcore, I don't think. And there's some really cool open world RPGs coming out in the future. I say the future because a lot of these games right now are in early access. But there's one in particular, it's the Tainted Grail RPG. That studio had released a Tainted Grail tactical game, kind of like a Slay the Spire-esque roguelike. It's all based off of the Tainted Grail board game, which I guess has been around and is really popular. I don't know anything about the board game, but the universe of Tainted Grail is like a dark take on Arthurian legend. It's like Arthurian legend meets Elden Ring, essentially. Depending on which one existed first, I feel like Elden Ring might have pulled some of their thoughts and inspiration from the Tainted Grail universe. Because if a Tainted Grail is a board game, the universe definitely existed first. But it's really cool. I watched like an hour of the second beta or early access phase the other day, and it seems really interesting. It's kind of like, it reminds me of Morrowind, like one of the older Elder Scrolls games prior, like anything just prior to Skyrim. It's kind of what it reminds me of. They're touting a lot of player choice, like your choice is really, really affecting the world. And from the little bit that I saw, that does seem like if they can keep building it out that way, that's going to be true.
How may I aid you?
Obviously, right now it's way deep in early access. I think there's only like 15 hours of like, or 10 or 12 hours of gameplay available if you're just kind of progressing through.
Ancestors.
But I was thinking about checking it out on the channel because it was really, really interesting to me. It has just a deep fantasy vibe where I feel like you can go out and you can get lost in the world discovering stuff and checking all the nooks and crannies, finding all the side quests and things like that. So, Tainted Grail, let me know if you guys know about it, if you heard about it or played it, or if you were interested in seeing it or checking it out. What level are we? We are level 9. We don't need to go to our trainer. We have a quest back here. Couple of dungeon quests for Ragefire. We're going to try to do a Ragefire run on this character because why not? Why not? I can't get into the hardcore guild though. There's no one around to invite. I've asked a couple of times today. And no good. No one there. So let's go ahead and grab the quest though so that we have them. And we'll just hold on to them until then. Let's see here. Did we not... For some reason I thought we were going to get a pattern to make a Kodo bag. And I don't see that happened. Oh, here we go. Oh, the coarse thread. Of course, we need coarse thread. I was just talking and turning in quests and thought that I was turning in all of them. Obviously, that's not what happened. Should be a leatherworking supplies guy in here that we can get the coarse thread from. Oh, here we go.
Peace, friend. Be careful.
Oh, we're one leather shy. I can read today, I swear. Not having any problems at all reading. I am going to get myself some lunch here. Well, it'd be more like a brunch. So maybe that will help me.
What brings you here? Go in peace.
Perfect. And what level do we have to be? 40 for this. Ooh, that's actually not going to be very soon, is it? Let's create all the rest of the light leather that we can. And see where that takes us. But yeah, 40. We can just farm for what we need. We could probably get 40 pretty quickly. It's a 6-slot bag, so I want to fill these last 2 slots up with this pronto. That way we're not going to spend any silver on buying any more bags, which is something that we usually have to do on characters right about this level. Alright, let's just go ahead and make the armor kits to just get as many levels in as we can. And then we should be able to train the next rank of skinning so that we don't have to worry about capping that out soon. There we go. The skinning trainer is out here.
You wish to speak?
Alright, that is perfect. What else do we have going on? Wind Fury Talons, I feel like is going to be over in this area. Rite of Wisdom is across the side of the zone here. Venture Company Workers and Supervisors is going to also be near this, I believe. We're going to keep it parked here in Thunder Bluff, I think. That way... You know, but maybe we should... if we turn this in, we'll get another totem to cleanse. We have to go back. Yeah. We're going to have to come back up here again. Even if we do all the stuff up here now, we're going to get another water well to cleanse up here by Thunder Bluff. So let's go back and turn that one in. That way, at least it puts our hearth on cooldown for next time. And we can see what this follow-up is about and where we're going to have to go for that, because I don't remember what parts we need to gather for the next totem.
What brings you here?
There is but one water well left to cleanse, named after the Wildmane clan. For this well to be pure, the land must offer the teeth of a fierce predator, the prairie wolf alpha. Find the alphas to the north and return to me when your hunt is finished. Alphas often wander around the base of our mighty city of Thunderbluff.
Walk with the earth,
Okay, that's
Mother.
perfect, and we're like so close to level 10. It's incredible. I'm not going to push for it today because I know it doesn't really get us that much closer to getting our bear form. It just gets us within like a stone's throw of it. So yeah, I'm going to take a break and get some food. Thank you guys so much for being here for this one. I know I'm struggling a little bit with the Druid, and I apologize for that. I'm trying to see the silver lining and look forward to the fact that it's only going to get better for me from here. And I am really looking forward to getting bear form. I know I like bear form. And I know we're going to tank some dungeons, so I'm really looking forward to using this character to start seeing some hardcore dungeon content. Even if it gets us killed, it'll be a new... Listen is what I realized. You know, I was avoiding dungeons because I didn't want to get our character killed. I would 100 times rather die in a dungeon fighting elites side by side with companions than to fall off an elevator or to get tracked down by murlocs freezing me over and over and over and over again, or any of the other stupid ways that I've died that could have been completely... I'd rather die in combat that I've agreed to than to die any of the ways that I've died. So yeah, we're going to do some hardcore dungeons. We're going to tank them. Maybe we'll live, maybe we won't. It's going to be fun either way. And thank you guys for being here for it. Until next time, take care of yourselves out there in the real world and take care of each other. And we will see you back in Azeroth again very soon. Bye for now.